Hey guys, this is Thanatos, and today we are doing the Cursed City of Sintranos walkthrough part 1 on rotation number 5. So, without further ado, let's begin. We start with the stage C1. Now, for this stage, from what I see here, always try to use Hellhate's Stages tool. It have helped me a lot in Sintranos at least. So, from what I see here, the only thing that you will need is AoE damage, of course, if you want to get through the stage fast. Some CC, maybe stun, AoE provoke, AoE fear, and you will need the block debuffs so that War Maiden cannot apply AoE decreased defense on you. Let's begin. You don't need any particular champions for these stages in the beginning of Sintranos. The best thing that you can do is just get some AoE heavy hitters and go through the wave just like that. Now, if you can't do that, apply some decreased turn meter, apply some AoE stun, and you will get past through it. No problem. That was stage C1. Let's go to the next stage now, guys. So, we are at stage C2. What you are going to need here is block debuffs, block buffs, crowd control, of course. Crowd control will help you in every stage of Sintranos, and some AoE heavy hitters. If you have a buff stripper, of course, use it, because on wave number 2 they will have a Valkyrie, and if she applies the counter attack and the shields, you will have a problem. So let's see some of the champions that we can use on this stage. Of course, we have the high quality champions like Siphi, Gorgit, Tormin, etc. But you have Arix, which is a free-to-play champion, and she can solo all the stage if you have her on a good gear. So let's go with Arix and Trunda. Again, the only difficulty on this stage is wave number 2, where you have Valkyrie. If she applies the shield and the counter attack, suddenly the fight will turn into the enemy's favor. And again, nothing very hard here. Stage C2 already done. Let's go next. Stage C3 now. Let's see what we need here. So, on this stage we are going to need block buffs, block debuffs, crowd control, and AoE DPS, of course. Now, ignore everything that I said if you can pass this stage with just your AoE DPS straight away. So, champions that you can use in this stage are Fatalis, you can use Misinaki, Ninja of course has good crowd control with his freeze. What else? You can use Lydia, Coldheart, Kale. Let's face it, guys, you will not have any problems with this stage at all. So, on the first wave, there is literally anyone that can do anything in your team. Just pass it straight away. Now, it's wave number 2, where we have this guy that's called Gnarhon. Gnarhon can AoE provoke your team, so this can be disaster if you don't have high enough stats to either resist it or to stay alive in this fight. So what you can do, you can either kill them fast with your AoE, just keep your cooldowns from the first round and use them on the second round, of course, and just kill Gnarhon, because everyone else in this wave is not really trouble at all. And we have last wave here. The last wave, the only thing that you really should be careful of is the Diabolist, because she can decrease the turn meter, increase the turn meter. But again, as I already said, if you have some crowd control and some DPS, those stages will be a joke for you. Let's go on the next one now. So we are at stage C4 now, guys. Now, this is the first stage that has some important rares inside it. In wave number 1 you have a double Kale. In wave number 2 you have a greener, which is a reviver. So what you have to use here, again, crowd control, stun the Chaos, stun Greener, have some AoE DPS in your team, maybe block buffs if you cannot kill them really fast, and this will be no problem. So again, you can choose RX, which is a free-to-play champion, you can choose Ronda, which is another free-to-play champion, and if you are not so high in the game yet, you can use Stag Knight, which is a very nice epic, and you can use Discard the Sigil, which is a very good epic when it comes to Sintranos and Doom Tower. This guy is a god. So let's see the fight now. As I already said, the first wave has 2 kills, so if you don't have high defense, high HP, just crowd control the fight and don't leave the kills attack you. As you can see, this card can provoke AoE, so this will be a non-problem for you. So, on this stage we have Griner. Griner is this dude here, which is a reviver. So, what do we do when we face a reviver? Firstly, we kill the reviver because we don't want him to be able to revive the champions that we already have killed with our hard DPS. And wave number 3 is nothing to be really curious about. There are just some rares that Plarium decided to pick and use in this fight. No problem at all. You will be able to pass this wave easy and straightforward. That was stage C4. Let's see the next one. So we are at stage C5, guys. We have the first boss for this rotation, which is Agreth. For Agreth we need AoE buff strips so that we can remove the counter attacks from the spiderlings, so that in that way they will not be able to heal Agreth from the damage that we have applied to her. We need some heal, we need some cleanse. Of course we can use Ugo, we can use Steel Skull if you want. Even Maniter and trying to create the unkillable team composition would be nice. Skytouch Shaman has a really good AoE cleanse that you can use. And when it comes to DPS, you can use Sneak Track if you want. You can use maybe Group Took if you have applied high critical damage on him. You could use Coronar too. What else we have here? We have Below, which is a rare and has some good damage if you have built him with damage. Anyway, let's go into the fight now. So as you can see, guys, Agreth will summon 4 spiderlings in the beginning of the game. They will all have counter attack on them, which means when they have counter attack on them, they will counter attack you when you attack them and heal Agreth with a very big amount of heals every time. So that's why we took Kuko. As you can see, he stripped away all the counter attacks so that we can play without having those heals, those annoying heals in the fight. Now, what I suggest you to do when you bring Skytouch Shaman is, if you have Group Talk, remove all the debuffs from her and the fear, and then she will make an AoE cleanse for your team, and that was it. No poisons for your team. Now you can heal with Ugo too, and let's continue the fight now. Unfortunately, the champion pool that Plarium has allowed us to use for this stage is very bad. Not good at all for bosses and high HP champions, but it is what it is. We will try to pass it with whatever we can use. Don't forget, you can use Belower too, a rare that you can apply some good critical damage and have 100% critical rate with him, and he will carry you in the fight, no problem. I must admit that this fight is going to be a little bit hard for the newer players because of the champion pool again. I don't understand why they made it so hard at the start of stage number 5. This shouldn't be the case, but anyway. Arm yourselves with some patience, cleanse, block debuffs, decrease defense, weaken whatever you can, and you will pass this stage. We are almost there. The spider legs are going to be summoned now. I hope we can remove the counter attacks. Where there's one left, we can't do anything for that. We have to grind again. Poisons were removed, but again, the heal is here. The spiderling is dead, so we can continue with our DPS now. I mean, this will not be a very hard fight, but this will be definitely annoying 100%. And that was stage C5, guys. Let's go on the next one. So we are at stage C6 now. What do we need for this stage? We need block buffs, block debuffs, and crowd control because it has some revivers on wave number 3. And you need AoE damage again and again. AoE damage for the win. So what you could use here? You could use some Torments, maybe Trunda. Even Cupidus could be used here. Let's see what else. You can use Horndig. Geomancers, even if you have 2 or 3 Geomancers, just put them in there and with their A1 AoE, they will do the job. Samael again. Soulbound Boyer. War Maiden. Even Berserkers. Deacon Armstrong is very good too. So, let's see the fight now. So, in wave number 1, the only champion that you have to be aware of is Bulwark. Just apply some block buffs, have some block debuffs in your team, and that's of course if you cannot win the wave with your AoE damage, of course, right? So, for wave number 2, there's nothing really important here. Just AoE them down, apply some crowd control. Those waves are just a joke. And wave number 3, here we have some revivers. So here is where you are going to need your crowd control. Crowd control Long Blade Rehab, crowd control 3-set Knot, and you will be able to win this fight with no problems at all. And that was stage C6. Let's go to the next one. Stage C7, guys, and now things are going to get a bit harder. We are facing our first epics in Sintranos for rotation number 5. So what you need to bring here? You need block debuffs, you need AoE block buffs, you need some heal, you need shields if you want, you need some cleanse, and of course some strong AoE damage. And if you don't have that, just pack some strong single hitters, because on the third wave we have a reviver, and of course when you have a reviver you need to nuke it down or crowd control it. So let's see the champions that we can use. We can use Mikage, which is free to play. We can use Ninja, which is free to play too. What else? Bigun is very good for waves that you need both DPS and crowd control. You can use Man-Eaters, you can use Oboro. Belower is very good too. Lady Kimi. Aeox if you're having problems and you need a reviver. And of course Genbo the Dishonored is a champion that can pack some real hard punches. What else? Pythion if you are having problems again. Mishinaki, Raman too, but I don't think that you would have any problems with this stage if you already had unlocked Raman too. And Krokmar is very good solution too. So let's see the fight now. So on wave number 1, Just bring some block debuffs and don't allow War Maiden to apply the AoE decrease defense on you, or Huskarul apply the AoE stance in your team. You can target Huskarul first and then War Maiden, and then you can go to Atur and Kaya. So, wave number 2, we have Apothecary, one of the best rares that this game had from the beginning of the game. We have Reliquary Tender, which is a very good cleanser, which we used on Shogun stage 25 if you already seen my guide. So we have Apothecary, Reliquary Tender, we have Tyrell, which is one of the most old school epics, a danger, be careful because he can pack a punch and he has decreased defense. So what you need to do here, try to stun Reliquary Tender because she is a reviver, kill Reliquary Tender first, then go to Tyrell and maybe go to Apothecary later. Wave number 3. Wave number 3, we have Stag Knight, one of the best epics in the game. He can apply AoE decrease defense and AoE decrease attack. So, stun Stag Knight. So, next we have Ursala the Mourner. She is a reviver, she has some buffs. If you can, crowd control Stag Knight and Ursala and the fight will be over just like that. Kill Ursala first, then go for Stag Knight, maybe Lady Annabelle later, and the wave will be done. That was stage C7, guys. Let's go on the final stage for the day. So guys, we are finally at stage C8 and we are facing Rage's favorite child, it's Bommel, of course. So what do we need for Bommel? We need every defensive buff that we can use. Bring some shields, bring some healed, bring some cleanse if you want. So unfortunately, from what I can see from the champion pool, you will have trouble with applying damage. But you will have Stag Knight, you will have Steel Skull, maybe Fatalis if you were lucky to pull him, or unlucky for some people, I don't know. So the good thing is that you can use Warcaster too. If you have 1 or 2 Warcasters, you can use the block damage when the bombs are about to explode, and you can create a mini unkillable team for Bommel. So let's see the fight now. I really think that if you have Mithrala for this fight, you will not have any problems at all, and Stag Knight is a very good champion. Now, as you can see, we are resisting every debuff that Bommel is trying to apply to us. Because it's early in the stage of this game, he has low accuracy, so if you fix your resistance just a bit above his accuracy, you will not have any problems with this fight. Let's apply the shield now. And I think that was it. Oh. Okay. It just needed 2 extra hits. So that was it for Bommel, guys. That was it for the Cursed City of Sintranos walkthrough part 1. I'm really looking forward into trying to clear every single stage in this rotation too. Let's hope we can do it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.